Shalom, this is Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet and Good Torah. We're learning the sefer Tomer Devorah by Rabbi Moshe Cordevero, the Ramak. We're learning the good Gimel Middos Harachamim. We're learning the 13 qualities of compassion and mercy. We're on number 4, for the family of his inheritance. L'she'eris nachala so. Okay, so let's jump right in. So it says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, that He guides Yisrael, He guides the Jewish people in this derech, in this path. He says, what can I do? What can I do to Yisrael? What can I do to the Jewish people? They are karovai, they're my family, they're my relatives. The shi'er basar li, they are the relatives. Imachem, we are the relatives with him. And that they are the bas zud. We are in a connection, a marriage, so to speak, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with the Holy One, blessed be He. And He calls us BT, my daughter, Achosi, my sister, Imi, my people, or with me. And it says in Shir Hashirim, the pasuk says, Yisrael am karovo. Yisrael, the Jewish people, they are a nation that is His relatives, that is His family. So mamish korva yeshlo imahem uvanav. Exactly, that we are the relatives to Him, to Hashem, and that with Him we are His children, we are His sons, His daughters, we are His children. And that l'she'eris nachala so, to the relatives, to the family of His inheritance. And this lashon of she'er basar, a relative, and in the end, that they are His inheritance. So what can be said? Well, Hashem says, what can I do if I punish them? I cause pain to myself. It hurts us when we have to punish our children, when we have to punish our sons or our daughters. It brings pain to us. It's the last thing we want to do. The best thing, if you have children, you just want to buy them gifts. You want to give them love. You want to give them hugs and kisses. It's horrible to have to punish them. You don't want to do it. It's not fun for them, and it's not fun for us for sure. So it says in the pasuk in Yeshaya, in the Nevuah of Isaiah, on Samach Gimel Tes, chapter 63, pasuk Tes, which is verse 9, it says, B'kol sarah sam lo tsar, that all of their pain to him is pain. And it's interesting because we have this tradition in the Torah that there's certain letters in the Torah, in a sefer Torah, there's certain letters that are written a certain way, but they're pronounced a different way. So we write the letter with the aleph, which means no. But we say that the fact that they're suffering is magia la pela ha'elyon. It reaches the highest level of wonder. And kol shekain ledun partsufim. And I think this is talking about the Kabbalistic concept of that Hashem's created these spiritual worlds and everything inside the physical world, including us. And everything's built on these 10 sephiros. And then these 10 sephiros divide into these 5 partsufim. So the highest is like the grandparent, the Erech Anpin, very patient, like a loving grandparent. Then Abba and Ima, the father and the mother. And then Zer Anpin Benukva, the son and the daughter, or the prince and the princess. So this pain reaches the highest levels. It comes all the way up to the Kadosh Baruch Hu at the highest levels. And this is the Ikar of the Hanhaga. This is the essence of how Hashem guides and directs the world. Because we read it with a vav. So it says not lamed aleph, which would mean no. We read it as lamed vav, lo, to him. So to him is pain. So it's teaching us this great lesson that when we have pain, it causes kiviyachel, as if Hashem could experience pain. Because really Hashem is this infinite being beyond all time and space, who's created all time and space. He doesn't really have these middos of emotion that He created us with, but He's the one that created this emotion. So He's speaking to us in the language that we can understand, but He is experiencing our pain. But this is saying that it's going into the partsufim, these spiritual constructs that Hashem's created, and they are feeling pain, like the Erech Anpin, the grandfather, the father and mother, the prince and the princess, the son and the daughter, that these spiritual constructs of all these spiritual worlds that Hashem's created, they're feeling the pain. And Hashem's created it to feel the pain. So He would feel the pain with us in this Golas. And it says in Shoftim, it says, V'tiksar nafsho ba'amal Yisrael, that soul will not tolerate the suffering, the travail of Yisrael, the Jewish people, because to not be able to bear their pain and their disgrace, because they are his family, they are his relatives of his inheritance. So is a person with his friend. And all of Yisrael, they are relatives. They are, this one's a relative with that one. We are all relatives. We are all descended from Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, and Sarah, and Rivka, and Leah, and Rachel. We're all descended from this family. And even those that become Gerim and Georises, they attach themselves to this family. They become part of this family completely. Because the neshamos, the souls, are all tied together. And he's speaking of this concept at the highest level. We live in the world of Asiya, the physical world, the world of making and doing. And above that is the world of Yetzirah, the world of foundation, where the Malachim, where the angels live. Beyond that is the world of Beriah, creation, where the Kisei Kavod, the throne of glory, resides. And there, the Tefillah directed to Hashem's throne. And then even above that is the world of Atzilus, this world of closeness to this infinite being. And then beyond that even is the world of Adam Kadmon, of the primordial man. And from that world, this high world, and all the neshamas come from all these high worlds, and we're all tied together. The Jewish people, all our neshamos, all our souls are tied together as one. And because of this, each has a portion. Because there is in this a portion, and there is in this a portion. And because we are not similar to Eino domem merubim haosim es ha-mitzvah. We're not like the multitudes doing the mitzvah. So I don't know exactly what it says. Let's read further here. So the Sifra, he says on Parsha Bechukosai, he says, and this is because they are all joined together. And because of this, Raboseno, Zichram, Lebracha, Chazal, our rabbis, may they be remembered for a bracha, they said on Masechta Brachos, they said, we count from the 10 first people that go to the base Knesset. Every time there's davening, if it's Shacharis in the morning, or Mincha in the middle of the day, the afternoon, or Mariv at night, the first 10 people are counted who make up the minyan. So even if 100 people come after them, even if a person is part of this original 10 that make up the minyan, and even if 100 more people come after him, that person receives the sechar, the reward, against all of them. Because it's so important to be this first 10 that actually makes up the minyan. And it says, Mea mamish kamashma'o. It's 100 exactly like it sounds. Because the 10, they are all joined together. This one with that one. And that they are then we say 10 times 10. 10 times 10, and they are 100. So this original 10 becomes 100. It's magnified. I think that's what, I'm sorry, I couldn't understand before. When we do mitzvah, it says we're like a marubi. Like, even if one person does a mitzvah, it's like this great multitude. And if 10 people do a mitzvah, it's just, everything just starts expanding and multiplying. The greatness of the mitzvahs. So the first 10 people that make up the minyan to daven, to do tefillah, it's like 100, because 10 is multiplied by 10. And then it says that there's that one from them is included from the 100. And even though 100 may come, there is to him the reward of 100. And so this is the reason that Yisrael are arevim zeh lezeh. We are guarantors. We are guarantors of each other. We look out for each other. And it says in Masechta Shavuos, because there is to every person a chelek, a portion, one from his friend. And unfortunately, the person the chote, that he sins, and he pogame atzmo, he blemishes his soul, he blemishes himself. He pogame, he blemishes the portion which is to his friends also. Chas v'sham. So if we're doing averas, it's blemishing the whole Jewish people. It's really horrible. That's why we have to look out for each other. That's why we have to try to inspire each other to learn Torah and do mitzvahs. And that we find that from the side of this portion of his friend, that arev alav, that he should be his guarantor, because we are she'er zeh im zeh, we are close, we are the relatives of each other, and because of this, it's fitting for a person to desire for the good of his friend. That's a beautiful idea here. Now, because we're all in this together, and our portion can be blemished by someone else, but also our mitzvah can help someone else. So we want to pray and look out for the good. We should desire the good for every one of the Jewish people. Everyone should desire his friend to also have good, and he should have a kavod, a respect, and a love, a chaviv for him, for his friend, like his own. And that's like this special mitzvah I think it's going to talk about. We'll see. And the reason is that we are commanded. So it says in Parsha Vayikra, "V'ahavta l're'acha kamocha." And Rabbi Akiva said this is the klal gadol b'Torah. This is the great mitzvah. The whole general rule of the whole Torah is love your friend like yourself. And when you love your friend like yourself, first love yourself. When you love yourself, that will spill out, and you'll love your friend like yourself. And then when you love your friends like yourself, when you love your family like yourself, you'll love Hashem because you'll feel connected to it all. And then it's fitting that a person should desire the kashrus, his friend should be kosher, and that he should not to speak in a genuso to him. He should never disparage or speak lashon hara about a friend at all. And he should desire good for him. And this is the way. This is the way. Kederek she'ena kadosh baruch hu rotze genusenu v'lo b'tza'arenu. That Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He does not want our disgrace. He does not want our pain and suffering. And the reason is because we are korva, we are His relatives, we are His family. And afhu lo yirtzeh b'genus chavero v'lo b'tza'aro v'lo b'kilkulo. And so too, we should not desire like the disparagement or the disgrace of our friend. We should not want his pain for him. We should not want any corruption or damage in his ways. We should not want anything bad to happen to him, because it's like even if that person is fit for that pain, we should want that good for him. And this is a great lesson. Hashem treats us as part of his family. We're his sons and daughters. He wants good for us. He wants to give us good. He hates punishing us. He hates when we have to be in pain. You can understand this. So we should want the best for everyone. We should want the best for ourselves, good for ourselves. We should pray for good for our family and our friends. We should pray for healing and parnasa. Ample people should have plenty of money to live on, and we should pray for the good of everyone. And then this can spill out to the whole world. When the Jewish people are praying for each other, and aravim zelazeh, when we are guarantees of each other, we're guarantors of each other, we're looking out for each other, we're praying for each other's good, this will spill out to all the nations. And when that spills out to all the nations, we will come closer and closer to that day that we can turn the swords into plowshares, and we can turn the spears into pruning hooks, and we can see this beautiful shalom of all the world, which people crave, that's world peace that everyone talks about. And it begins with looking out for the best, of everyone else. And Hashem's looking to give us good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you back again soon on Sweet and Good Torah.